there's also an idea that, okay, we're back to school, so everything's back to normal. And I think, it's okay that it's not back to normal. And one of my favorite sayings is it's okay to not be okay. And that's kind of where we are, right? We're back and we're still dealing with it. I think people think, kids, they just are resilient. They'll get through anything and they're going to be fine. And while there's some truth to that, we want them to be better than fine. Because the kids that we teach today are going to be leading our communities in a few years.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Sam Rollins, Chief of Communications for Santa Cruz City Schools, here with your weekly news. I've mentioned before in recent weeks how reconnecting with each other is going to be the work of this year, and that it isn't effortless. It isn't always easy, and it almost certainly isn't confined to schools. We're all in the process of recovering the connections that have been altered and still unpacking 2020, even as we prepare to enter 2022. But at schools, we continue to do the work of facilitating and accelerating that connection. And we'll have a look at not only how we're doing it, but how these connections boost overall behavioral health after some news. But before anything else, can we all agree how nice it is to hear rain again? And that there's nothing like a wet walk to school to make you realize that, yes, your kids have all grown out of their rain boots. Now, I feel like apologizing for our urgency in asking all of our families to fill out the school food form in order to get enough information about our district to qualify for full classroom funding. This is still very important. And in fact, this is the last week we can accept responses, and we really need them. But I also know that forms are, by their very nature, confusing and intimidating. So I wanted to reassure our families that any information you put on these forms is private, it is protected, and it is only used for us to report statistics. The online form, if you fill it out, will ask you how many students you have in the district, and will ask you to estimate your monthly income, and it will also ask you for the last 4 of your social security number. But I can assure you that this is secure and kept entirely private. Mainly, I wanted to apologize because I personally hate forms. They stress me out. But even I filled it out, so I really hope you do too. We do not want to lose any of our counselors, any of our classes, or any of our vital support staff. Next week, the County Office of Education will be holding a town hall around student vaccinations in English and Spanish, with pediatricians available to answer all family questions, as all of our students will soon be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. You can register at link number 2. If your student participates in testing and your insurance company has sent you anything that even looks like a bill, please reach out directly to me. We can help. You do not have to pay anything, I can promise you that. Reach out to me for help if you need it. We're still so grateful that the state is providing on-campus testing free to school districts and families. It has made school so much safer, and we're grateful for any protection that keeps our classrooms open. And on that note, we're all seeing that even as being back together is becoming old news, the work of reconnecting to each other is far from finished. So let's have a look at how we're supporting reconnection at a time when we're all a little still socially out of shape, and why it's so important to academic progress and mental health.
Soft skills are, those moments where, like, your social cues, right? And a lot of us haven't had the opportunity to build on those in the past couple of years, but it's also something that isn't explicitly taught in school.
And that's part of learning. We're not born knowing how to treat each other. We have to learn.
And a lot of times adults and educators and just society in general expects that kids and teenagers know what to do, when in reality they don't.
They kind of forgot how to interact with each other, how to play with each other, how to make friends.
And I think that a lot of students are noticing that they are feeling better when they are connected with other people.
Seeing all my friends and
seeing my friends
doing the activities that we wouldn't be able to do online.
It's just human nature that we're not supposed to be away from each other. I think in terms of like mental health and getting them involved in their activities is getting them motivated so that they feel like they want to do better in school, and it's just we're on the upward positive swing of it.
The goal is to have students thrive.
We do have the social emotional curriculum that teachers teach in their classroom once a week.
It's given us all kind of like the opportunity to reconnect.
With that connection, there comes growth.
We've seen a huge increase just in student engagement in classrooms and student participation. Mock trial,
dance,
DSU,
math club,
LSU,
theater,
ultimate frisbee,
literary club,
ASU,
Trident newspaper,
JSU,
Rainbow Alliance,
ASB,
soccer,
Coalition for Environmental Justice,
cheer,
cooking club,
golf,
graphic design club,
tennis,
football,
lacrosse,
interact club, volunteer club,
chess club. That's a mental sport.
At the end of the day, better socially adjusted kids lead to better socially adjusted adults.
As always, thank you for your time, and I will see you next week with more news. Have a great weekend.